Yo, what's good? I appreciate everybody for tuning in. I just wanted to jump on here and do a real quick video of something I saw that was interesting, and I definitely got to play the clip. If you aren't familiar, hey, I'm Marcus. You're the channel, The Debt Free Dad, where we're talking finances, financial takes, financial topics, current events, attorney reactions, all that good stuff to entertain you and help people become aware in the financial literacy space. Now, I want to talk a little bit about Rick Ross and Joe Rogan. That Rick Ross, the rapper, the the actual real Rick Ross, Freeway Rick Ross, because I thought this was an interesting story when I saw it. So before I play the clip, I want to give y'all a little bit of background. If y'all don't know who Rick Ross is, Freeway Rick Ross is, watch the TV show Snowfall. Great show, just went off the air. But essentially, back in the day, he engaged in street pharmaceuticals. But, he got incarcerated, turned his life around, and he had a really interesting story. Now, I'm going to play this clip, but in short, he was talking with the individual about what's the difference between where he was today when he first versus when he first got out of custody. And so, he talked about when he first got out of custody, he didn't have any real money, anything like that. So I'm going to go ahead and play this video. I want y'all to take a look at it and check it out. And we're going to rap about it once this clip is over with. Oh, and shout out to the Entertainment Report podcast for this content. Y'all know I'm not creating nothing if it's already out there. So shout out to him because I'm definitely using this video. So I wanted to give him a shout out.
So it's very important that you have some money when you generate a little money now. Businesses work or businesses don't work. And generating a little money now. When I got home, I had $200. So it was very important that you have some money when you're doing things, because without money, it's hard to maneuver in the society.
Right. And what was your first business venture when you came home?
I started a trucking company. I started a website, Freeway Enterprise. What else did I do? I was doing my speaking engagements. I'm still doing the speaking engagements. Then I started the T-shirts.
Like the ones you're wearing right now?
Yep.
Stand up so we can see 1 second there. The real Rick Ross is not a rapper.
And it's even funny how that came about. I was on the Joe Rogan show one day, and I told Joe that I was doing bad financially. And he told me that I should do a T-shirt. And I was walking down the street, and this kid stopped me, and he's like, "Man, we got a T-shirt idea for you." And they told me what it was. Real Rick Ross is not a rapper. I'm like, that's it. But you know what? I did like I always do, and I listened. And I went with the kid. He made it up, and he gave me 100 shirts, and I sold them all the same day.
Not so corny after all. Yeah.
No, I said, well, you know what? That kid was on to something.
Yeah. All right, so that was the clip. I wanted to talk a little bit about it because I thought this was interesting. And if you want to, you can go to YouTube, do a search, Rick Ross on Joe Rogan, and you can see the interview. Because Rick Ross talked about it a little bit in more detail on some other podcasts. But like he said, he got out of custody. He was low on money. And, in other interviews, I seen him when he said, I know Joe Rogan got the big time multi-$100 million Spotify deal. So I asked Joe Rogan, Joe was like, you like my story and everything. So I asked Joe Rogan to let me hold something. And he said, hey, if you don't believe me, go ahead back and watch the interview he did. And he said, Joe Rogan looked at him and said, I think you need a T-shirt or something. And it's funny because Rick was like, when he left out of there, he was kind of hot. You know what I mean? He expected, because Joe had him on the platform, liked this story. They were essentially cool. He was expecting Joe Rogan to hand him out something. Now, Rick Ross ain't a young cat. He an older cat. kind of a veteran in the game. But even at that age, even at the age that he was when he went on a Joe Rogan podcast, his initial mindset was of the belief that, yo, this dude rock with me and he eating, so I should be able to eat. He should be able to put me on, give me something until I can get on my feet. But unbeknownst to him at the time, Joe Rogan actually gave him something that ended up being better, which was an idea to create some merch, to make a product that people can actually buy, that he can sell to make some money off. And in the beginning of that video that I played, Rick Ross talked about how he's in a completely different financial position now. And when I saw that, the first thing that I thought was, a lot of times we got to realize that, yo, nobody owe us anything out here. There's probably two people in the world that actually owe you something. Outside of that, and most of the times, well, some of the times, they might not even do it. But literally, the only two people on the planet Earth who probably owe you something is probably your parents, because you didn't ask to be here. In my mind, logically, that makes sense. But a lot of times we think because of relationships we got, or because somebody's in a good position, that, hey, if we cool, they should be able to put me on till I get on my feet. And we got to realize, yo, that's not always the case. But the other thing is, we got to stand back and also realize that Joe Rogan gave this dude a gym that'll allow him to make money, make an income, pretty much in perpetuity, because he can sell those shirts forever. And, his name is his name. And thanks to Rick Ross, the rapper, his name is a famous name now. And so it's good to see Rick Ross on his feet again. But I thought that was a really great video, because a lot of times, like I said, when people are doing good and we have some type of relationship, we think that they owe us to put us in a better position. And, yo, that's not the case. The only people who give a damn about your financial situation is you. The only other person who might care about it more than you is probably your significant other, your spouse, your partner. They might care a little bit. But if it gets too rocky, I don't know. They may not care. But no one is owed anything in this world. Everything that we get, we got to go out and earn. We got to go out and put the work in. And we can't let a good idea pass us by. In that interview, it was funny because he went in deeper on another interview I saw, but he essentially said after Joe Rogan gave him that gem about dropping the t-shirt, dropping the merch, he left out. He was kind of hot. And he said he was walking down the street like in the video, and a corny kid was like, yo, I got a shirt idea from you. And he was looking like, man, if you don't get out of my face. And he thought the idea was corny. It was terrible. But like he said, one thing that he did that was right, he listened. He listened to what Joe Rogan said. He listened to what a stranger said on the street, got the kid to print up the shirts, 100 of them, sold them, and the rest is history. Now there's people out here rocking the real Rick Ross is not a rapper t-shirts, all because he asked for something that he wasn't entitled to, and what he got in return was a good idea that can give him some income for longevity. So I just thought that was dope, seeing that. And I also like to see comeback stories. Hey, we're in America, and in America, we always like to see the comeback stories. Well, I don't know. We used to always like to see the comeback stories. It depends on what you're coming back from. If you've been extremely canceled, it might not it might not be no way to come back. But generally, we like to see a redemption story. We like to see somebody who started out rough or took the wrong path and they turned it into something productive. They got a story to tell where they can push people and influence people in the right way. And so I saw that clip. I wanted to just talk about it real quick. I thought it was interesting. Shout out to Rick Ross. It's definitely a good idea. Definitely dope. Hey, I wanted to keep this video short. This Friday is going to be a dope live because I thought this live was interesting that I'm going to do. It's going to be the top reasons why Black financial grifters, scammers won't get arrested. Top reasons why. There's a whole list. I'm up to 7 now. I think it's 10. I'm up to 7 now, but I wanted to do my due diligence and research because, hey, shout out to Pocket Watching with JT. He just be exposing the goofiness left and right. And one of the things I thought, like, man, these dudes is going to be doing this indefinitely because they'll never get prosecuted. They'll never get sued. And then the question hit me like, well, Why won't these dudes get sued? And you know what? I said, I'm going to break it down. We're going to watch some funny, interesting, and sad videos. One video can be funny, interesting, and sad as hell all in the same time. But I'm going to talk about why these black financial grifters, scammers probably won't get arrested, probably won't get sued civilly. It's terrible, but it is what it is. So y'all make sure y'all check that live out Friday, 9 p.m. Yeah, 9 p.m. I'm thinking like, man, do I want to go see the new Flash movie? But I got my tickets for Thursday, so I'm good to go. That's it for this video. Y'all take care. Be blessed. If you like this content, check out the content on the screen. There's going to be more content related to finances and attorney reactions. Peace.